Welcome back, brothers and sisters. I am Braden. This is Langley Outdoors Academy, and thank you for stopping by. All right, guys, what we're going to talk about tonight is something that has been a long time coming. The NYPD has just been forced to reevaluate all the denied concealed carry permits that were taking place before Bruen came down. Now, this is incredibly important because prior to Bruen, you had to show proper cause, and if you didn't, that concealed carry application was denied. Well, now they have to go back and redo all of them for anyone who applied for the next 30 to 60 days. We're going to walk through the exact time frame in a second, but this is crucial because even though New York has deemed everything a sensitive place and the legislature there has made it almost impossible to carry a gun, the bottom line is the NYPD is forced to acquiesce to the orders of the Supreme Court, and that is what we're going to talk about because that is where eventually this will all go. Now, everything is linked in the description box below. I cannot wait to hear what you guys think on this one, but we have got to hit this, and this video is brought to you by Arms Directory. We're going to say a quick word, and then we're going to hit it. I'm going to show you everything going on with the NYPD. Now, Arms Directory is a two-way friendly social network and marketplace of ideas. With social media at large censoring a majority of freedom, Arms Directory is a safe harbor for freedom for us for the 2A movement. They are the only 2A protected social network out there, and feel free to post freedom pics, blog posts in the industry, find local events, and more. Check it out in the description box below to find out more, and thank you so much to Arms Directory for making this video possible. And myself, I'm actually have an account over there, and I'll also be doing some work with them next month. I cannot wait to see you guys there. But brothers and sisters, check this out. The NYPD, even though they may protest, they cannot deny the fact that the SCOTUS has spoken, and this is going to go everywhere, something that we've been talking about for a while, per the Bruen decision. All right, let's get it. NYPD issues emergency rules on concealed carry gun licenses to obey Supreme Court ruling. Now, in my personal opinion, this is a little late and took a hot minute, but at least you arrived, NYPD, even at the consternation of the sitting governor and all the legislature. New Yorkers whose bid for concealed carry gun licenses were recently rejected by the NYPD will have a shot to apply again, but they'll need to act by mid-October. So if you happen to be in in New York City, this is a pretty good opportunity for you to actually take activity. Oh my gosh, to actually take part in your rights that are fully there, but they've been infringing upon forever. People seeking licenses to carry guns haven't reason to be grateful for the police department's invitation to reapply, said an expert on the city's gun licensing rules who called the NYPD's announcement stinko. All right, hold on a second there, guy. I completely understand the idea that, it's just going to make it longer, it's just another arduous task, they shouldn't have to do it. I understand all those things. But at the exact same time, the NYPD is being forced to go back on their previous decisions and reevaluate citizens based on their Second Amendment rights. Yes, they may have onerous restrictions in New York City that they should not have. However, they did not have cause to revoke proper cause without Bruen, and they had no reason to go back and revisit these cases without Bruen. But because that Bruen decision came down, even though Hochul in New York doesn't want to do it, even though the legislature wants to make every single place a sensitive place in direct violation to Bruen, they still have to do it because it is their constitutional obligation. And that's incredibly important to understand. Now, we're going to dive into this a little bit more, but this is how you win. They might fight, they might struggle, but at the end of the day, we are winning. The chance to reapply came in as a set of emergency rules issued by the NYPD in response to the Bruen decision, allowing strict limits on who can legally carry a concealed weapon. We know what we're talking about it. The Bruen case, you can't show proper cause anymore, or you don't have to require proper cause because it infringes upon the right to bear arms. We've talked about that. Ironically, in that exact same case, the Supreme Court went out of their way, Clarence Thomas, to say that doesn't mean you can make the whole city of New York City a sensitive place. It has to have history and precedent. Incredibly important, and we're fighting that fight. But for right now, the NYPD has to reevaluate all these things. It may take time, but it's not going to cost you any more money. It is free as long as you act within this time frame. The new state laws will require people seeking concealed carry permits to pass training courses and bans guns in broadly defined sensitive locations that essentially make possessing a firearm illegal in nearly every public place in the city. Like I said, we talked about that, we're fighting that, but for right now, focus on this small win with the NYPD. But the state laws don't kick in until September 1. So the NYPD sees a need to apply different rules for those who sought permits between the issuance of the Supreme Court ruling and the day the state laws take effect. If this is you, act now because you can get here without any fee. They've waived the entire fee. It's important. Even though you shouldn't have a fee, they've waived it. That's the point. Quote, given these changes in law, New York City must immediately implement an operative concealed carry licensing scheme to address an imminent threat to safety and property, NYPD Commissioner Keechant Sewell wrote. Under the NYPD's emergency rule issued late Friday, people whose permits were rejected were given 60 days or until October 18th to reapply under the terms of the Supreme Court ruling. If you are one of the people this applies to, jump on this. Even if it takes a long time, even if the process is onerous, this is important to embrace your Second Amendment rights because the Supreme Court blew that door open like the Kool-Aid man. Now they're going to work on that sensitive places thing. You know it's coming. The lawsuits are already flying. And even in New York State, they know that this is not going to stand up to scrutiny, making everything a sensitive place in direct opposition to the Bruen decision, of which the NYPD is amending their entire operation around. It's clear what's going to happen here. It's just going to take time. Stay the course. The NYPD likely won't approve the reapplications for months or years, given that the department is already backlogged with requests and expected to receive a flood of new applications, Levine said. This is the guy who said stinko. Quote, what they're making the individual do now is go back to the pile and go to the bottom of the line, he said. They should just go back and automatically grant those licenses. Okay, maybe so. They're not going to do that in New York City. However, what they are going to do is they just went from you don't have a chance, you're never getting it because you didn't show proper cause, to now you're going to get it through the process that's already in place because the NYPD is being forced to do it by the Supreme Court. Our system of checks and balances is messy. It is going to get it done, and it's going to take time. But what we're seeing right here is the NYPD acquiescing to the Supreme Court, not to the state legislature. And that is an incredibly important thing to see and very hopeful, at least in my eyes. Let me know what you guys think in the comments field, and I'll see you tomorrow morning on the Bullet Points. I'm Braden. See you later.